Hey, all my JavaScript friends, this is the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and this is a video for the card and standard card series to show you the new methods called toString and clone. If you like this video, please click on the like button below, subscribe to this channel, or leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I know what your question is. Why a new video? Well, I was developing my Davenport card game, which is our next series after we had finished off the card, the standard card, and the deck. And as I was developing that game, I realized, oh man, I really missed some important methods that would be really nice to have on both the cards and the deck. So I had to go back to the card specification here and create two new methods. These methods are called toString and clone. And basically they're very simple. toString allows me just to get a string output of the card itself, while the clone method will make a physical clone of the card, whether it's a card or the extended class, a standard card. So why do I need these methods? Well, imagine this. You're working for a company and you've completed your specifications, you completed your test, you completed your class, everything is great. And then 6 months later they come to you and say, hey, we got some new requirements. We need to have this, and this done. Well, that's where we're at right now. With those additional methods that I knew I needed with the Davenport card game, I'm now coming back to my card and by extension the standard card class and saying, okay, I've got new requirements, let's do it. So again, we're doing test-driven development. So the very first thing we're going to do here is we're going to create our test for our two new methods. So here they are on the screen straight out. First of all, this one right here, oops. This is the toString, and basically the toString is a very simple little method. It doesn't use the internal JavaScript toString. It basically, I'm going to create my own, and it's going to be nothing more than the rank and the suit concatenated together. I mean, that's it. There's really nothing else to it. And this will allow me to, when I get to the standard suit, to be able to output things like 2H, 2C, 10D for diamonds. Now, of course, if you have specialized cards, you may want to override the toString within your particular class, but it doesn't matter. But the base class card now is going to have a toString. The second one is the clone method, and this makes a physical clone of the card or standard card by extension, and that's because, as I'll show you here in just a second, that we're going to do something kind of tricky with it. But the idea here is that when a consumer wants to find out what cards are within the deck, I don't want to give them access to the cards themselves. And this is something I covered within the deck. I want to limit the access as much as I possibly can. So if I want to report back to the consumer saying, hey, I've got these 5 cards or I got these 10 cards or whatever, I'm going to tell them here, I'm going to tell them those cards and here, say, here are a copy of all of those cards. So you can do whatever you want to with them, but you're not going to mess up the cards that are within my hand or within my deck, actually. And that just kind of helps prevent other people from being able or other applications from being able to accidentally mess up the deck. So I needed a clone method to be able to clone a particular card so that I can then take the clones and report that out to consumer without having to mess around with the deck itself. So there we are. This is the toString and this is the clone. The toString, we're just going the rank and the suit. On the clone, we're going to do the clone. I want to first of all make sure it is not equal to the card that we declared it from. I want to make sure that it is an instance of card, and I want to make sure that the suit is the same, that the rank is the same, and that the value is the same. So this basically makes sure this is an instance of the card, that everything is the same, but it is not equal to the card itself. So let's run our test and let's see what happens. So that'll be run, npm run test. And I'll see you when it finishes up. And we're back, and we've had 2 failing tests, which is exactly what we expected. Let's take a look at those failing tests. And yep, the output of the card should output the correct card, and it errored on should clone the card. Basically, it said I got back object, but expected rank suit, which again I expected. And the other one said card.clone is not a function, which again I expected because I haven't written any code yet. So this is what we expected. Our tests are basically saying, okay, here's how I want these particular routines to define. I want the toString to be able to return rank suit, and I want the card.clone to actually return something. Once we create card.clone, then we should be okay. So let's take a look and see what we can do with or let's get the code in there and see what we can do with it. Okay, so here is the toString method, and it's very simple. I'm returning rank and suit concatenated. So that should solve that particular problem. You want to find out if it does? Of course you do. Let's clear off the screen. Let's run the test, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, we're done, and we're down to one failing test, which is what I expected because our output of the correct card now is correct. So now we got to take care of the card.clone method. So let's take a look at that. Okay, and here's our code. Really, really simple. I'm returning a new this.constructor, and I have to use this.constructor. I can't say new card here. Why can I not say new card? Because if this card is a base class, and there could be other classes that are extending from this particular card. For instance, the standard deck class that we've also created, which gives you the standard 52 card deck, that extends this class. So if I was to sit here and say return new card, I may get the suit, the rank, and the value, but it's going to basically mess up if I am trying to extend a standard card. So because the standard card, because the standard card may be expecting something completely different, and it may implement things like suit, rank, and value a little bit different. Mine's doesn't. In actuality, it would probably work, but you've got to be very careful in classes like this to make sure that you're accessing the current instance. And this is the current instance. So if we were within a standard card instance, then this would be a standard card instance. If we're in a regular card instance, this will be a regular card instance. So I'm creating a new this constructor, so I get the current constructor, and I'm setting suit, rank, and value. Now, what if standard card created other properties? Well, then what you would have to do is that you would have to probably override the clone method. That's just the way life goes. So that should do it, but let's just see it fail. So I'm going to say rank also equals this dot suit, just to kind of show you how the failure will work. So let's save it off. Let's clear the screen. Let's run our test. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, we're done, and it is still failing. Of course it's still failing. And notice that it says here, we're not getting that the clone is not a method anymore like we were getting earlier. Now we're actually getting failures on the test themselves. In this case, I expected rank, and what I got was suit, which of course it is because that's how I did the stupid code. Therefore, I just kind of want to show you what a failing test would look like. So if I put that back to rank, our test should work correctly. Let's find out. I'll see you on the other side. And we're done, and we've passed. Yep, there we are. Should clone the card now passes, which means if we go back to our code, all 5 of these expects now work like a champ. So that completes our modification of the card class. I came back with new requirements. I needed a way to be able to get a simple string outputted from the card, and I needed a way to be able to clone the card. Those are my new requirements. So I created the test right there. I then sat there and ran the test. They failed, which of course is what I expected. So then it went to the card. I created the new clone and the new toString methods. Reran the test. Everything's green. Everything's great. So I'll have all this new code out here. Probably by the time you see this, by the time I publish this video, the new code will already be out there. So take a look at it, grab it down. Let me know what you think. So if you like this video, please click on the like button below, subscribe to this channel, or leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you so very much for watching. This is the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith. We'll see you on the next video.